Hello everybody and welcome back to Professional Disc Golf. We are at the brand new Disc Golf Pro Tour event, the Dynamic Disc Open in Emporia, Kansas. Thanks GK Pro for filming. I'm Erica Stinchcomb.
I'm Paige Shue.
And I'm so excited just to watch and be a part of disc golf again.
Absolutely, it's going to be an exciting one. We've seen this course a lot before on the tour, just it's not an NT this time, it's going to be a Pro Tour. So we're familiar, we're ready, and we're excited to get out and play again.
So Paige, you're joining Paige Pierce, Katrina Allen, and Rebecca Cox. Should be a really fun card to watch. Kat won the GBO last year narrowly against Paige Pierce. I know it's not exactly the same event, but it is the same course.
Yes, it's going to be an exciting battle all 3 rounds, but I'm excited to watch round 1 and see how our first round back is going to be.
Definitely.
All right, so this is hole 1 at the Emporia Country Club. We actually have a shorter basket than we did at GBO last year. So this hole is 999 feet, pretty much straightforward, wide open fairway. There's OB on the right, on the road you can see, and then on the left, the cart path. That big tree we just flew by is kind of in some players' way now and then if you try to do a big flexi, but other than that, you just want to stay in the fairway for this one and hopefully get a par or birdie.
Big flexi, I like it.
Yep.
Yeah, and the drone is still going. It's a really long hole. The shorter basket definitely brings birdie into play, but I mean, it was windy yesterday, so it'll be tough to get all the way there.
First up from Plano, Texas, sponsored by Disc
You're going to notice the Pro Tour and Dynamic Disc were very careful and very explicit about, how to be safe during COVID. So you're going to see people entering the tee area one at a time and staying 6 feet apart and masks when you're too close and that kind of thing. So it'll be a little different.
Definitely. So we got Paige Pierce throwing her Zeus, I believe?
Yeah, it is a Zeus. She's going to be leaning on that all day.
Yeah, she threw it with a little bit of hyzer and it flipped up nice and straight and just went super far.
Yeah, I haven't really seen her new bag much, so it'll be cool to see her play with like a whole new lineup. For position, that was an escape that she turned over a little bit too much, but anything close to that ditch is fine.
And from right here in
Yeah,
Emporia,
even if you
Kansas,
throw a little low like that or you're a little
Dynamic
short
Disc,
off your tee
your
shot, there's still
2018
plenty of
World
opportunity
Champion,
to get up and down for your
Paige
par,
Shue.
even your birdie. So that's kind of what I like about this hole. Even though it's kind of long and boring, you still have the opportunity to fix your mistakes if you happen to make one.
Definitely. Yeah, I think they made a few good changes to the course that brings some more scoreable action into play, so I'm excited to see. What are you ripping on?
Yeah, that is my Biofusion Enforcer. I wanted to flip up a little more, so I got kind of nervous.
Stable.
Yeah, and there was a little bit of a tailwind.
But that's fine, again, like you said.
Your 2014
lucky to stay
World
in
Champion,
bounds. And
Katrina
I kind of like that
Allen.
left side. It seems to open up the fairway a little more.
Katrina Allen, I would say this is essentially defending her GBO win from last year. It'll be 3 rounds instead of 4. And I mean, the conditions are very different. In April, things are a little bit more dead and it's cooler and things skip a little bit better. Yeah, things are going to get stuck in this lush green grass.
Absolutely.
So she just goes pure hyzer with a 400G D2.
Yeah, she was nervous about hitting that tree, and she kind of leaned with it, and she avoided it and crushed it way down the fairway.
Rebecca ups the disc on the second shot with a trespass, but has that same mistake of just a little low.
Yeah, sometimes when players try to throw really hard, they tend to drop their shoulders, and you'll see them kind of throw into the ground.
Definitely.
I'm throwing on a Fusion Raider, trying to do a flexi, and it sucked.
Little flexi.
Yeah, I threw it into the ground, but again, I'm in the fairway, and I still have my opportunity to get up and down for par.
This is the signature Katrina Allen Spectrum 500X3. Thank you to all the ladies for providing their disc list, because there's no way I would get all of that right otherwise.
Yeah, that was a beautiful disc. It
Yeah.
has a pink shimmery, cool look to it, and she crushed it.
Yeah, she got up on top of the hill, which is a huge advantage to see the basket really clearly. Another escape, which is what Rebecca threw off the tee.
Wow, that was an escape. That went pretty far.
Yeah, she really hit the line right that time.
We finally reached Paige's drive.
God, way up there. Jeez. This is an Undertaker.
Is that a fairway?
Yeah, I don't know if it's understable or not, but I think it's a fairway. I'm not super familiar with discraft, so I'm learning.
She's in a great position to attack for the birdie. I forget what I threw. Oh, that's my enforcer again.
Stable.
I think if I really tried to flex it, I could maybe reach the basket, but I was just trying to play for par.
Yeah.
So I threw some kind of straight with
Not get too greedy.
Mm-hmm.
Par's a great start. It's really easy to bogey. And you can't tell like super well with the trees around here, but like it's windy. It was like pretty much 15 to 20 all day.
Yeah.
With maybe, I don't know, 25 gusts or something. That was a nice little chip shot.
Yeah, it made every shot scary. Even your little putter up shot,
right?
like within 100 feet, you were shaking.
Mm-hmm. I believe that's a harp, and that's a beautiful little chip shot from Rebecca too.
Yeah, even off the trees, it got through, and she's putting for her par. So I was super nervous on the shot because of that wind I was talking about. So I stabled up to a fusion judge, a more overstable putter, and just kind of floated it up there.
That was a great shot.
Circle. Thank you. It's like Paige is flicking his own.
Yeah. Nice, overstable, reliable. Oh, a little bit too much of a skip, though.
Yeah, not a friendly
roll.
roll.
She under that tree, too?
Yeah.
So that was her third shot. So she's putting for birdie here. She's really good at these knee putts, though. You can kind of see the wind in that big tree. Ah, close. But hey, it's a stress-free par. Not a bad start.
Yeah, first hole jitters, you know.
Well, first hole jitters in like 3 months, too, with that second off season.
Yeah.
Nice putt from you, Paige.
Thank you.
Nice trip from
I
you,
know.
too.
That's so awkward. I was stoked. That was kind of a headwind putt, and it wasn't super easy, so I was happy to walk away with a par on that one.
Definitely, I like getting kind of those testers out of the way. And that is actually the only birdie on the day on hole 1. So really good job, Kat.
Not surprising coming from Katrina. You know, she's a good thrower.
Mm-hmm.
Good putter, too.
So, yeah, you can see even if you don't throw perfect, you can par this hole as long as you get a couple good solid shots off.
Pretty good hole, I'd say, for the card.
Yeah, definitely. Hole 2 is 576 feet uphill. There is OB on the left. The right side, you don't want to get in. There's a couple bushes and other really tough things. So most ladies are going to land pretty close to this bush or a little bit further up in the middle. And then the second shot's pretty hard because the backhand is blocked by these trees. So you either have to go around them, flex something, or throw a forehand. And it takes 2 really good shots to get up here for a birdie look.
Yeah, it's definitely doable. I think in the back of our minds, we're like, this is definitely a birdie we can get, but it's kind of a bonus birdie.
Yeah, it's gettable. It's like a similar feel to hole 1. Like, you can do it, but it takes great shots to get there. This is that Katrina Allen Spectrum 500 X3. Nice and stable, not messing with that right side, and then just spikes right down.
Yeah, that right side can get pretty tricky and pretty grabby.
Yeah, if you get in that bush, you're just, whew,
yeah,
not having a good time. I think Paige is going to throw this Zeus like all day. It was all over her list she sent me.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I think it's a pretty stable disc.
Doesn't look stable when she's throwing it.
Right.
She gets it way up the hill. She can see the basket on her upshot. Definitely a great shot and good advantage there.
And Rebecca's continuing to disc down, which is interesting. I don't know that this is usually her strategy, but that is another escape.
Yeah, and what I like about the escape is that it's extra glidey, and you kind of get the distance of a distance driver with that disc.
I know she's been kind of working on like her run up and maybe even reach back a little bit. So maybe she's just disking down and trying to make the disc do more of the work. B Pro?
Yes.
Yeah?
I'm throwing an Opto Ballista Pro. It's actually kind of an understable one, and I kind of didn't really commit to it, but I ended up in a good spot, and I kind of have a straight look at the basket.
Yeah, honestly, the more you push the OB left, the better look at an upshot you have, so risk-reward.
Yeah. I was trying to throw more of a straight line drive and ended up kind of putting a little more height on it than I wanted, so almost hit those trees, but luckily I landed inside the circle and had a putt.
Exactly. Nice. Yeah, and this is what I was talking about. So those trees are really in the way for the backhand, so Rebecca opts for the forehand. That is an Explorer.
Her forehand's been looking really nice.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a few from her during this round.
She's been working on it.
I think it's a great strategy to use on this hole, having a sidearm. Like you said, those trees can really eat your disc. So if you have it, might as well use it.
That was super smooth from Kat.
Looks like Paige is just using a putter, throwing straight.
Yeah, this is her Crystal Fierce, which is like, I don't know, it's kind of a funny name for a disc.
But she throws it pretty perfect. I was inside the circle. It was kind of a weird wind, and I did not want a 3-putt. I was happy to take a par.
Yeah, fair enough. When you're not feeling it. So close, Rebecca.
No, a little left side, but committed on that putt and just didn't stick for her.
Ooh, did stick for Kat. Nice birdie start. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, 2 down. Probably feeling great.
So Paige is putting with those Fierces, which is like her signature putter. Super neutral, I think beadless. It looks like a really cool disc.
Becca's tapping out. Looks like there's only 3 birdies on that hole, and that was Paige, Kat, and Missy Gannon. So it's doable, but with this win, it just makes it a little tougher.
Definitely.
All right, going to hole 3. This hole is 489 feet, a par 4. I kind of like the adjustment. It's usually a par 3, but I think it's kind of hard to get there for a lot of the FPO. So they changed it to a par 4, so it plays downhill. The main obstacle are these trees right here. If you can get through them, you're probably doing okay. There's a cart path on the right side that's pretty hard to go if you're going down that straight gap. But on the left side as well, there's a a fairway that is also out of bounds. So you just want to keep this one straight. And then towards the basket, we have these kind of guardian trees, so you got to make sure your upshot's kind of low so you're not hitting those branches.
Yeah, OB behind it too comes into play when you're putting. Yeah, I actually didn't even look at the tee sign and thought this was still a par 3. It's like a classic tweener.
Yeah.
Kat will be fine there. She's in bounds. It's very 3-able. It's just like really, really hard to 2. So I do like the change. Very scoreable hole now.
Yeah, it was definitely a tail on this hole. So I think that's why we're kind of all pushing left.
Yeah. Yeah, Paige, you could tell, released early. You're trying to shoot generally between those 2 trees, and she kind of went to the left of that tree. Forehand's a great play here.
And Paige got close to the out of bounds, those white flags, but she ended up being safe.
So this is a Sargent. And that was beautiful.
Yeah.
Perfectly pretty easy upshot, hopefully.
Again, I'm using my Understable Ballista Pro with this tailwind. I know if I crank it and put some Annie on it, the wind will kind of help stable it out so I can get the full flight out of it.
Oh, that looks good.
Definitely probably one of my better drives on the hole.
Beautiful.
Really just don't want to hit those trees.
Yeah, it's scary with the backhand. You either, early release, or it's so easy to turn it over and hit the right tree in the gap.
So Katrina's just taking a hyzer approach.
Yeah, just a little M2 upshot leaves her just outside the circle, so it'll be a tester for her birdie.
Yeah, just nicking those branches.
Another harp shot. Perfectly done.
Absolutely. So I got a little putter up shot here. And
a little win-win.
Oh my gosh. My upshots like that, I tend to use the float of the putter to kind of help, and I didn't really account for the wind, so it rose it up super high.
Yeah.
I broke some branches, and now I got a tester.
Took a piece with you. Yeah, I usually like to float them in too, and in the wind, I kept finding myself in trouble. I had to spin it a lot lower all day than normal.
Paige gave it a jump putt run. She ended up a little deep.
Kat gives it a run. She's smart and keeps it close. Not like a line drive putt. A little lofty. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah, I was stoked to get that one. I was like, you can't have that good of a drive and not get a friggin' 3. But it was a tailwind putt, so I just put a little more height on it, and it just fell in the basket. So
Great bird.
Good. Thank you.
Is it weird watching yourself? I've yet to do that and commentate at the same time.
Yes. It's also cringy when you see yourself do shots like that aren't good.
Yeah.
But it's all disc golf. We all make mistakes. The important part is just shake it off and do the best we can. Paige her attempt was a little low. She had a pretty left to right headwind putt.
Rebecca had a great birdie.
Absolutely.
It's cool to see her lean on that sidearm.
I know. Definitely you can tell she was working on it during off-season 2.0.
All right, UDisc leaderboard. UDisc is an amazing tool. Check out the stats if you haven't, and it's fun to follow along all day. So our lead card is in the lead card, and Missy Gannon is also doing really well. Kona, Holly Finley, Andrea Eaton not far behind.
Typical names you'll see.
Hole 4 is 438 feet, downhill, then uphill. There's a ditch that you're trying to get across on your drive. Sidewalk is OB. That wall, there's like a flag line to the right that is OB. It's just a pretty routine, either flex shot or even a hyzer. Though this tree on the right off the tee makes it a little awkward to shape your shot.
Definitely, and I think a lot of us are just trying to get pars. A lot of us can't reach the basket, so we're just trying to air something out. Even if we throw shorter into the ground, we still have an opportunity to get up and down.
I'm trying to remember the wind. Was it a headwind?
What am I throwing? Yes.
I think it was, because, in a headwind, it's so hard to get all the way there. If there's no wind, you'll have a chance, but...
Yeah,
or tailwind.
Yeah, I'm throwing my Opto Air Ballista Pro, and that thing's a beefcake for me, so anytime there's a pretty strong headwind, that's what I rely on.
Nice.
And I landed in the ditch. Usually the ditch is my goal.
Yeah,
I
I
pretty
think
stoked if I can get there.
Probably true for most of the field, because it leaves a pretty easy upshot as long as you're not too far to the left. Kat has a 400 H3 V2 that she just throws on a hyzer.
Yeah, after she threw that, she looked at her hand, and she's having some grip issues, so I think she kind of held on to that one a little bit longer. But in that heat,
it was hot out there.
Yeah, even with that wind, our hands were still sweating like crazy.
Yeah, it was like a humid 90, which, we're kind of used to playing in the morning still. Playing these afternoon rounds is definitely still new territory. Wow. Paige rips that Zeus into the circle in a headwind.
Of course. My. She was like, don't hit the wall, don't hit the wall. She went around it. She gave herself a putt.
Rebecca really likes that harp for her upshots. Leaves herself a 20-ish footer.
Yeah, I'm just throwing my judge and boop. Knocked over the Hansen or the sanitizer stuff for the basket.
Yeah.
So
that was another thing that we had to do for COVID-19 was spritz the basket and then use hand sanitizer immediately after spritzing.
Yeah, crazy things that were put into place for us to stay safe and be able to keep competing and playing.
Definitely. So. Jeff Spring, Doug Bjerkes, all doing their part to keep us safe. Oh, wow, what a 2.
Dead center.
It was beautiful.
Absolutely. Play that
replay.
back.
Nice.
Paige was the only 2 in the field.
Not surprising.
So surprising. But it looks like a lot of people got pars, so it's pretty typical.
Yeah. So, some other things you'll notice, there's no spectators other than volunteers and players were allowed to spectate, and if they got in too big of a group, they were told to disperse. No caddies. A lot more media to provide this awesome coverage. Thanks again, GK Pro. Jomez was out there. CBS is out there, which is crazy. That'll come out later. Yeah.
All right, hole 5. This hole is 537 feet, but it plays uphill, and as you get closer to the basket, it kind of gets tighter with the OB. This sidewalk we're flying over right now is safe, but the one on the right is OB, and those flags on the left. Really, you just want to air out your first shot, and then your upshot, you kind of have to deal with all these trees. And again, it gets tighter, and the basket is a little bit uphill, and it's definitely a tough par 4.
Yeah, sure. This is the second most difficult hole on the course for the ladies. Just as the OB tightens and tightens towards the end, and just all those trees in the way, it makes it so tough in the wind.
Yeah, I think most of us are just trying to throw our max distance here. Just trying to get as far as we can up the fairway.
Yeah, if you can stick to that right side, it'll give you the easiest upshot that you don't have to navigate around these trees so much.
Yeah, and I've had upshots where I've tried to throw through the trees and I nick the tree and it just kicks me straight
Shoots
OB.
OB, yeah.
So very scary hole.
Yeah, it's impressive if you can stay in bounds the whole time. And the distance-wise, it's gettable for a birdie. It's really hard, but it's doable, but it's so technical.
Yeah, and there's a pretty strong headwind here.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of turned it over and cut rolled. So I just was scared. Usually when you're scared, you kind of tend to throw low to get under the wind, and just big error on my part. So I was pretty disappointed, but still possibly get up and down for my par. Katrina Ayers went out too, just throwing a nice hyzer.
I believe that was an X1. Not messing around, just nice stable disc.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, her and Paige And I can't remember where Rebecca landed. We'll have to contend with those trees.
Yeah.
But hey, at least you're in bounds, so.
Oh, I know. Luckily, I got far enough to where I felt like I can get a hyzer around that last big tree. So I kind of landed in the middle of the fairway, and I'm just hoping I have some kind of look at the basket to get up and down for my par.
Rebecca leaning on her Sargent for the sidearm. Newer disc released from Dynamic recently, and that was great. Is that circle 2 there or circle 1?
Looks like just outside circle 1.
Nice.
So Katrina's going around.
This is an H1.
Oof.
Takes a big old branch.
Yeah, the low ceiling is another thing you have to contend with on this hole.
Paige has a nice angle.
Yeah, probably just ripping something over stable into the ground, right? A skip.
That's a zone. Should be a pretty easy birdie from there.
So luckily, I have kind of a straight tunnel shot. Just trying to throw my putter as dead straight as I can. Yeah.
Nice.
Ooh, I was scared on that one.
Well, way to save your par after, the disappointing drive, I'm sure.
Yes, thank you so much. I was stoked about that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Kat's pushing that Oh, she is out of bounds on that shot.
That happens. It just gets really tight up there by the basket.
Tight and windy.
Yeah.
It wasn't a perfect shot, but you could tell the flight plate got exposed and the wind just pushed it out of bounds. Mm-hmm. So this is to save a bogey then, right?
Yes, I think. Yeah.
Pushing that sidewalk too.
Or
no, that was for par.
No,
oh God, we'll find out together.
Yeah. I forget. Rebecca, she's been draining a couple of those tester headwind putts, just dead center.
Yeah, she's been solid so
very
far.
Confident.
Everyone's doing really well under par. It's a great place to be out at Country Club.
Yep, and I think Paige was the only one to birdie that hole.
Yeah, definitely.
So kudos to her. It's a great birdie hole.
Yeah, 53% of the field was over par on this hole. It's very difficult. Kat having some putting woes.
The wind was pretty hard. I mean, these flags are kind of heavy, but you can still see it blowing in. These weren't easy putts.
Triple bogey.
Yeah.
That's a tough pill to swallow in one hole.
Yeah, especially with their push.
At Dynamic Discs, we offer affordable custom stamping to help your company, club, event, or tour stand out from the rest. We can use your own design, or we'll work with you to design a stamp that captures the tone of your event. We'll get your discs stamped quickly and on their way within 3 weeks. If you're ordering for an event, you may qualify for one of our sponsorship tiers as well. Discs are listed at our best pricing with a minimum 50 disc order with a 10 disc minimum per mold. We have junior and mini discs available as well. For all the information you need, head over to dynamicdiscs.com or email custom@dynamicdiscs.com.
That looks like a pretty sweet disc golf shop.
I've actually been there. It is really cool.
Cool. Hole 6 is 351 feet uphill. OB around that bunker and the green, all that's flagged to the right. There's OB left, but it's pretty hard to get there unless you crazy hyzer. I believe there's OB deep as well. It's a pump to get all the way up there, uphill, in the wind. If you can get up near that kind of dead-looking tree on the left, you're in business.
Yeah, out of the ham, Paige was like, whoa! She definitely late released it. And there is OB that she was throwing over, but she had the distance enough to get past it.
Definitely.
So she'll have an easy up and down, maybe even run the jumper.
Trespass here.
Yeah, I think for people that have distance like us, we're just trying to do a little flex shot. And like you said, get near that dead tree. If you turn it over too much, there is that green OB on the right. She's directing traffic over there.
Yeah, well, it worked.
Yeah, she's perfectly in the middle. She'll have an easy up and down.
Yeah, that's a pretty typical shot. It takes some special power to get inside the circle on this one. I think most of us are hoping to get to like circle 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, and that's like the one obstacle is that tree.
But I was glad to stay in bounds in my practice rounds. I kept turning them over, so kind of
Yeah.
made the good correction. Just hyzered out, and I was in bounds.
This is Katrina Allen, Spectrum 500 X3.
Yeah, she was expecting it to stable out a little more at the end, but did not. Okay, so on that upshot, I was debating going on a knee or not.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's fine. Like, it's pretty short. And then I just threw it kind of short.
Hey, you stayed up, and you got it right there.
Rebecca's up and down pretty easy.
Nice, easy 3.
Katrina's laying it up as well.
Smart. Let's see if Paige runs this. Nah.
Yeah.
It's a really special 2 if you can get it. Par's great on this hole.
That was so ugly.
No.
It was a straight headwind putt. Wasn't confident. I'm really not happy bogeying this like easy hole.
Yeah.
But move on. You know, I'm still at even, so I think everyone else is just gonna be tapping in their pars.
Yeah, 0 birdies on the day, not surprising.
Here's our current leaderboard. We got Paige Pierce, Rebecca, Missy, and Kona. Next is me, Kat, Holly, and Cynthia Ricciardi, and we're all close. We're all within a few strokes. So here at Country Club, 1 hole can alter that. All right, hole 7 is 531 feet, a par 4. It kind of plays downhill and then back uphill. Right now we're flying over an OB golf green, so as long as you don't throw it into the ground, you should be fine. That tree on the right can grab some discs, but really we're trying to land right about here and just kind of have a straight up shot. There's kind of a tunnel of trees towards the basket. And then the basket's actually on an elevated pyramid, so adds a little bit of difficulty to the hole, but it's a pretty gettable par 4. I think a lot of us
I would say everyone stepping up to this is thinking they can 3 it.
Absolutely.
In our field. You can find trouble. You can turn it over, find OB on the right pretty easy. And maybe tree saves her. And you do have to navigate a couple trees for your upshot, so it's definitely not like a gimme 3, but distance-wise, it's super gettable.
Yeah, you really just want to make sure your drive is placed well,
Yep.
so you have a pretty decent lane to the basket to get up and down.
That's a pretty stable Ballista Pro from Rebecca. It's a little harder on the left side, I think, but she should have a pretty clean look at it. X1 from Kat. Wow.
Yeah.
What a perfect little hyzer flip.
She throws those X1s so well.
That's like the spot. That's exactly where you're trying to land.
I am throwing my Biofusion Enforcer, something just a little stable. I'm trying to put some torque on it so it kind of gets the full flex.
No. It's still good.
Yeah.
You keep clipping those little branches.
I'm still happy. I still have an opportunity to get up and down.
Absolutely. Zone there from Paige leaves her with a long putt for birdie.
Yeah, it's those low branches and those trees you're trying to contend with. I had an Annie look and a hyzer look, and I really felt confident on the Annie and held on to it a little bit too long.
Dang.
So
Circle 2 look.
kind of upset. Really wanted that 3, but
Yeah.
I can still save my par, and that's
Oh,
right now
maybe
it's my
it's
goal.
Easier on the left side. It's like a
Yeah.
perfectly clear look.
I was
Huh.
surprised when you said that. I like the left side.
Huh.
Just kind of forces you to throw straight.
Maybe I've just never been over there.
Yeah, it looks like Rebecca held on to that harp a little too long. I'm sure she's disappointed, but she has a circle 2 look. Katrina with an easy chip up.
Yeah, she should be able to convert for a birdie. Just a layup from Rebecca.
Yeah. No need to do anything crazy. It's elevated baskets, high winds. Every stroke counts right now, so. I know Paige was running that, and then she's like, wow, commit afterwards. You know, you just just couldn't commit, maybe because of that elevated basket.
I think the wind in the elevated basket makes it hard to commit on putts like that.
Oh, yeah.
Bummer.
Little high, but good line.
So no birdies for our feature card. This is the second easiest hole on the course, though. 33% of the field did birdie it.
Yeah, not surprised at all. If you just break the hole down into 2 pretty doable shots, you can get a 3.
Definitely. Maybe I'll try for the left side today.
Well, I see you 3'd it. Nice.
Yeah, I did get it. After going 2 double bogeys in a row, so that one felt great.
There you go. So pick yourself back up.
Yeah.
So we're all getting our pars there.
Hole 8 is a tiny bit different from GBO last year. We have a slightly shorter basket. It's a 918-foot par 5. Is it a par 4? No, it's a 5.
It's a 5.
So OB sidewalk right, OB flag line where that kind of taller grass is on the left. You're just trying to rip out something kind of over the sidewalk, land in the middle. Second shot, you're trying to get up and over this hill if possible. And then third shot's pretty tough. There's like not really a hyzer or a backhand to the right of this tree, so it forces you to go either forehand or anhyzer to the left, so you're pushing the water. The backhand's there if you force it, but it's definitely tough on that final shot.
Yeah, with this wind and how tight the fairway is, definitely one of the scariest holes on the course.
For sure.
I dread coming to this hole.
Yeah, it's so easy to find out of bounds, even multiple times.
Yeah, big numbers happen on this hole.
It is the 5th most difficult hole.
Yeah, Paige plays it perfect.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to put over that sidewalk, like you said, and just hope it doesn't drift too far left out of bounds.
Yeah, you're definitely trying to throw something nice and stable, kind of on the right side over that sidewalk.
Yeah, and you definitely want your air to be left if you're going to go OB, because if you go OB right, you're going out early.
This is a Ballista Pro. Perfect.
Perfectly in the middle. And I think on this hole there was a little bit of a right to left wind. Do you remember? I think maybe tail right to left.
Yeah, it was definitely a pretty decent wind to attack the hole with.
Yeah.
Though you really had to hang it out to the right to make sure the wind didn't carry you out of bounds left.
Yeah, Katrina actually skipped off of Rebecca's disc. I was
Pro
like, whoa,
move.
you've never seen that happen.
The grass isn't skippy enough, so she just aimed for Rebecca's disc.
I am throwing a putter.
Wow.
Yeah, the tailwind gave me some confidence, and I'm so
Smart.
scared, like I said. I've tried
Well,
throwing drivers, and I never have good luck.
And
here.
you're never going to go out of bounds with that shot. Though this shot now looks pretty tough. Is that a mid?
No, it's a judge.
Okay.
I'm just throwing my judge.
So you're just going for par here, no OB.
Yeah. I'm too scared.
There's
Oh,
nothing wrong.
man.
There is nothing wrong with that. Jeez.
I know. I
So
feel like-
defensive.
I know. I just feel like a wimp because everyone like throwing Ballista Pros and overstable discs.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like if you go OB right early, it's so easy to then go OB left because you're getting aggressive. So
Absolutely.
it is. It's a real scary hole. And that honestly is the best second shot is again push the right side, which is terrifying. And then it's still easy to skip and even roll OB here.
Oh, this is what happened. Yeah, we thought her drive was perfect, and then they were still looking at it and
Yeah.
not giving us flags.
And honestly, she threw a perfect shot. That's exactly what you want to do. She just gets some unfortunate ground play.
But even that left side's going to be a little open because most of the trees are on the right side.
That was just a buzz, and I mean, she's way up there. She seems unhappy with like how she's releasing it, but she's, playing the hole well.
Yeah, she thought she threw it out of bounds.
Yeah. I mean, she threw a mid, so if she threw a driver, maybe. And what is this, another putter?
Yeah.
Wow,
it's
dude.
the same disc. It's just an overstable. It's keeping it in bounds.
Does it have Christian Bale on it?
No, not that one. Rebecca's lining up her forehand with her Sargent again. Great play because, like I said, there's a bunch of those trees on the right side that are kind of blocking the backhand. But she pulled it a bit left. Threw it out of bounds.
Yeah, maybe something a little bit more stable.
Yeah, Katrina throwing a forehand as well. Kind of threw it up in the air. Just kind of died down the wind. The tailwind pushed it down, but she's in circle 2.
Yeah, decent shot. So this is Paige's third shot, so she's like way in position to get a birdie, which is awesome.
Yeah, she just let the tailwind push that down. It's a secondhand sanitizer bottle we've knocked down as a group. We started to keep track.
I knocked down 2 myself, and my card mate's got a
Nice.
few. Kind of weird. Nice little upshot from Rebecca. It'll be an easy par.
Well, I think bogey. 'cause she
Oh,
went
I'm
out of
sorry.
bounds.
Yeah, she went out of bounds. You're right. Honestly, bogey's not even that bad of a score on this hole. It's
No, it's not.
so tough. All right, well, putters for the win.
I was stoked. That's exactly how I wanted it to go.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes your game plan doesn't happen, but sometimes it does.
Well, and sometimes you change your game plan because you see everybody ripping Ballista Pros, so
I
it's
know.
hard to stick to a conservative game plan sometimes, so good for you.
Thanks. This hole averaged 0.53 strokes over par. I'm kind of surprised. I thought I'd play a little harder, but also the field size is pretty small this weekend.
Yeah, it's only 15.
Yeah. So definitely a good hole. Only 2 birdies, Paige and Erica.
Haha!
Dang you, bad A.
I'm going to brag about it. It's a really good get. It's a super tough hole.
Absolutely.
Hole 9 is 693 feet. It is slightly different from GBO last year. The right side is no longer out of bounds for the most part. That's all safe. Left side OB. If you're open, and then obviously you have to make it over the wall as well. So short is OB. You take the drop zone if you go out of bounds on your drive. You have to go around this corner. There's OB on the left, that white flag line. And then they pushed it back. They cleared out this whole area and pushed it back, I don't know, like what, 50 feet maybe?
Yeah.
OB on the left side along fairly tight, and then the right is clear. It's a really tough last shot. It's a par 5 now, though, which I think it was a par 4 in the shorter position.
Yeah. I think it was a good change.
This is a buzz from Paige. That is so perfect. Yeah, great shot, dead straight. That's a little farther than most people get to. Like, a lot of people throw just putters or whatever and just try to kind of get out the gap. That looked like a pretty aggressive disc.
Yeah.
H3 V2.
Yeah, like you said, I'm throwing my putter. I just want to get out of the gap. I'm sure that's everyone's goal.
Yeah, and that's probably the typical landing zone there, or even slightly shorter than that. That was a great shot.
I think if you just stay in bounds on your first shot, you're probably going to have a decent look at saving your par.
Definitely.
Maybe not birdie, but...
Yeah. That was an escape from Rebecca. I do think throwing a slower speed mid or putter is the play. It's like tempting to throw the driver to get way out there, but you can find more trouble, I think.
Yeah.
Rebecca just forced to pitch out, and that'll be tough from there as well.
Yeah, so I'm trying to avoid that OB green that you see, so I just threw a judge on a bunch of Annie and some height.
Beautiful.
Just to try to land the skinny gap. And yeah, it felt pretty good.
Yeah, clear up shot. It's certainly not easy, but it's open at least.
Mm-hmm.
Rebecca going back to that forehand Sargent, and that's a good placement shot. She's pushing that OB a little bit, but she's fine.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like a buzz as well from Paige. She's way up there.
Yeah, she's definitely attacking. She's trying to get to the basket in 2.
Which is insane.
Yeah, with a mid.
Double mid.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she lands by the basket. She's just caught up in a little bit of the greenery.
That is such a thick tree. I got scratched a lot in practice trying to get a disc back, so hopefully she spit out the other side.
But definitely an incredible shot.
Yeah. Just wow.
Trina's also just trying to throw a big Annie, try to get as far as she can, maybe get into that gap. She's a little early, but she should have a good look.
Becca.
She's throwing a mid?
That is a Tursus. Oh, cool.
Ooh.
Super flippy west side disc mold.
Mm-hmm.
She throws it perfectly straight. And yeah, the OB deep is pretty far, so I think that's the shot, is to like kind of penetrate farther than you maybe think is comfortable, but yeah, to push deep is safe. The left and right sides are pretty rough.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at this.
Yeah. And there's a lot of those like random trees on the green that
wow.
you kind of got to go around.
Well, she had a window. Oh my God, look how hunched over she is.
I know. This is for her Eagle 3.
Jesus. Oh my
And
God.
she drained it.
Oh my.
I know.
Buzz. Look at her.
She was like, get up, as soon as it left her hand and barely squeaked in.
Wow.
Yeah, great hole.
That's something special.
Phenomenal for sure. I mean, to have the distance and to execute, 2 very, very important things if you want to get the eagle.
And
Just
that
off
like
the cage.
suddenly brings her down to 6 under
Oh my gosh.
through 9. I mean, she was having a good round, but now, whew. Oh, dang.
Yeah, a little right side. I was a little nervous, so I felt like I didn't deserve to make that putt, but
It's kind of
okay.
a 50-50-er. It wasn't too far off.
yeah, and luckily it's for my birdie, so I was like, okay, par's fine. You
Par
know,
is fine.
you make the gap, no overstrokes, you're good.
Man, eagle.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
pretty
can't
incredible.
even.
She has definitely a decent lead.
So that wraps up the front 9. Paige Pierce sitting at a ridiculous 6 down. Kat is at 2 over. Rebecca 1 over. Paige, you're even. All 4 of you are in the leaderboard, definitely in contention.
Yeah, I think a lot of us are trying to stay around par, unless you're Paige Pierce. But I think we're feeling pretty good. I mean, there's still a lot of holes left, so we still have many opportunities to score and get some birdies and move on up.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us on this brand new event. Thanks to the Pro Tour and Dynamic Disc for working so hard to make this happen. Thank you, GK Pro, for filming. I'm super happy to be a part of this. I'm Erica Stinchcomb.
And I'm Paige Shue.
Join us on the back 9.